Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bulldog Film Review. You are a tank commander and you are stuck in a tank with 4 other soldiers because your assignment is to go after the fanatical Nazi army. Due to the fact that World War II is about to end and these Germans are just not giving up. We're talking about the movie Fury. I had the opportunity to see the movie the other night, kind of an early release, and wow, this movie did its job. The one thing that you'll notice when you go to see this movie is no detail was spared. Now, it does show the ugliness of war. They cover all aspects of it. The killing, the innocent victims being the civilians that are caught in between everything. And it does not, however, come across as an anti-war movie. What it does show is what these guys had to do to accomplish their mission. Now, when you go to see this movie, I want you to look at the frame deeply, because not only are you going to see the actor of the scene perform, but I want you to look around that frame, because what you're going to see are details. Each shot almost looks like the documentary clips that you constantly see on the military and or history channel that you see on television. The producers and the directors spared no expense with this movie. It was done well. I'd venture to say that this may be the movie that gives Brad Pitt his Academy Award for possibly Best Actor. Movie's rated R. It does show you the realities of war. Can get vulgar at times. Movie basically starts off as this young, fresh-faced kid who is all of a sudden detailed to be in a tank as a machine gunner. And he was just a clerk typist in the Army. And at that time, the military was running short. Now, you got to remember that the tanks of that time, they were up against the worst, meaning that the American tanks were toys compared to what the Germans had. And the Germans had the Tiger tank and the Panzers and so forth. And those tanks were a marvel of technology back then. For the United States military's tank to destroy a German tank, it was estimated that approximately took 4 American tanks to take out 1 German tank. The reason why the Americans did win many of the tank battles that they had, even though there were a lot of casualties as a result of that, is that the United States had it over Germany as regards to supplies. They were cranking tanks out right and left, faster than the Germans were. And even though the Germans put out a top quality, and back then it was compared to the Abrams that we have today, there just wasn't enough. German had great technology. I mean, they were the first ones with a flying jet, but once again, it was too late before the war stopped everything. They were already on a losing spree. What the movie does show is that the Germans were not going to give up. Even to the end, they were very fanatical people. And this is what our soldiers had to contend with. It also addresses losing your people, especially when you become a cohesive unit and you've lived with each other 24/7, and then luck of the draw, you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. So it addresses all that. It's a good movie. The last time I felt that way, when I saw a very good documentary type of movie, was when I saw Saving Private Ryan. That's how long it's been. Saving Private Ryan, I believe, came out in approximately 1998. It's like I said, the scenes are very overwhelming, and They paid a very good attention to detail. So I'm going to go see this movie again, and I suggest that you do too, especially those of you who are history and military buffs like I am. But that's just me.